With a population of 5 million, Sydney is the capital of New South Wales and one of the world's great cities. It's a place that's full of culture, has an incredible food scene, lots of green space, and stunning waterfront views. It also happens to be the starting point for my Australian backpacking adventure. So, knowing that I've got a busy week ahead, I decide the best way to explore the place is to watch the sunrise with an early morning run around town. Just got out for a morning run here in Sydney, and it is beautiful. I don't know if you've ever been to Sydney before, but I am amazed at this place. It's got to be one of the cooler cities. And it's super quiet this morning, so just being out here is just a handful of other runners, really. And the city's getting ready, some gardeners going on, getting the botanical gardens looking beautiful. So that's the sound you hear over there. But other than that, it's just been a spectacular morning. So eager to get a crack on the rest of the adventure and getting up into the snowy mountains later today. Our first stop is K7 Adventures in Jindabyne, where we meet up with local guide Mike Edmondson to talk about the plans for what is looking like a couple of cold, windy, and snowy days in the snowy mountains.
Are we talking walking in like a foot of snow, or are we talking about something that is a slushy?
So we've had 11 mil of rain since 9 a.m. So it's like, it can be quite extreme. Yeah. So that's the, so it's only 7.4 degrees. So that's windy and snow showers today.
We just arrived in Jindabyne earlier today and got our debrief for our adventure ahead. Seems like it might be some wild weather up in the snowy mountains. Doesn't really feel like it, but at the moment. But I think we might have a pretty good adventure in store for us. Let's see.
I think this might be the trailhead. Yeah. Cascade Trail.
We're going up to Kosciuszko, which you can't really see right now because it's completely obscured in the clouds. But that's our mission, and it looks like for the next 2 or 3 days, this is what it's going to be like, except for maybe stronger winds. So who knows? It's going to be fun. As the wintry weather settles in, I meet with Richard Swain, a local Indigenous guide who is happy to share some of the history and traditions of this region's Aboriginal people.
The Snowy River starts up right next to Kosci, up next to Tagungal, and it does about a 200-kilometre loop down through Jindabyne and out around, and then it drops to very low elevation. So it's its own world. It's a microclimate.
So you were just telling me, Richard, a little bit more about your work here.
Well, I own Alpine River Adventures, and we're a small company. It's my wife and I, and we take people on mostly multi-day adventures with culture. In an oral culture, your country is sung to you, so the map in your head is a song. So most of the tracks that you walk along or drive along are what we call songlines. Traditionally, people when they came here would light a fire and wait to be welcomed. And people would come, they'd state their business, and if you're following your dreaming and you'll go a songline and you're going up to eat moth, you stated that and you were afforded all the hospitality.
I really appreciate being able to gain some insight into the history of the people that have called this beautiful land home for many centuries. As I head deeper and higher into the snowy mountains, my curiosity is piqued, and I can't wait to see more. I have to admit that the winter conditions in Australia have caught me by surprise. I feel a little foolish about that, considering that we're in the snowy mountains. But cold aside, the weather provides a beautiful backdrop in which to explore the area.
So this is summer. Is this pretty typical?
It happens every 5 weeks in summer.
5 weeks. Well, that sounds fairly common then.
Yeah.
This is cool here. So are we following the ridge?
No, we go down the fire trail, the little trail,
heading
down towards Cascade Hut. So we've got about 1,000-foot descent.
Let's go check it out.
Let's go.
Now we're getting into the snowy gums, as I guess they're called here. And you can't really see Kosciuszko. It's all obscured in the clouds right now. But that's the highest peak in Australia.
Yeah, so this is one of the biggest snow gums I know up here. It's probably about 300 or 400 years old.
That's spectacular.
So just look at the icicles.
You even got some icicles
Yeah.
coming off of it. That's wild.
So, yeah, so these species of snow gums unique for Australian Alps.
Yeah.
Found nowhere else in the world.
Wow, this is cool. Perfect place to take refuge here now.
Yeah.
Nice.
We can light the fire.
Let's light a fire, baby.
Wow, that's a cracker.
That is.
That's the eucalyptus oil in that dead eucalyptus branch.
It's a great fire starter.
Yeah.
Everything so far has been a warm-up for our biggest mission yet, to hike the summit of Mount Kosciuszko, the highest point in Australia. The plan is to take the ski lift partway up, and then hike our way up to the peak where we'll make camp for the night. But the weather seems to have other plans for us.
How is this Australia?
Right in summer.
That's right.
Kosciuszko goes this way, but it's still 6 kilometres total from here. We've only come half a K.
Okay.
It's pretty dangerous conditions. So
Yeah.
it's wet driving rain, 60 k/h winds. We've got all the gear, 4-season 10, and we can't navigate.
This is weird. Not weird. This is brutal. I mean, I really want to get the summit, but also, I don't know if I'm prepared for the wet conditions that are out here. It's just right at that limit. 253? Yeah, I think we'll have to call it.
Okay.
Probably head down.
Yeah, okay, we'll head off then.
Okay.
You right?
Yeah.
Follow.
So, turning around, I'm pretty disappointed. I was really looking forward to getting to the top, spending the night up here, and seeing Mount Kosciuszko from the summit. But we gotta be safe, so heading down. Yeah, kind of breaks my heart a little bit, but gotta be safe in the mountains, make the right call. Okay, yeah.
After drying ourselves in our gear overnight, we set out for our second attempt at the peak, even though the storm hasn't fully passed.
The weather's cleared up quite a bit, and we're making another bid at the summit. So hopefully when we actually get up towards the top where we're gonna get off the lift, it'll still be clear enough for us to make a real go of it. I'm really looking forward to getting a second chance, a redemption chance here at the summit of Kosciuszko. I can actually see the river today.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was all full of ice.
Yeah, no.
Although conditions are better than yesterday, which lets us appreciate more of the beautiful landscape, the weather is deteriorating rapidly.
Another snowdrift.
Yeah, it's piling up here.
After a quick discussion and decision to continue onward, we pick up our pace, not wanting to miss the small window of opportunity that we have.
We're in the thick of the cloud now, right in the heart.
Yeah.
Can't see hardly anything. Highest point in Australia, baby! Yeah! Second season of Epic Trails, already ticked off 1/7 of the world's tallest mountains. Asia, that one's gonna be a tricky one. But we'll get there, we'll get there.
What's mostly Antarctica?
Yeah, there's a few trickier ones in Australia here. Taking off the world's tallest mountains. Boom!
Leaving the storm and the snowy mountains behind, I've made my way to the Blue Mountains to meet up with Mark Johnston, a canyoning and hiking guide who's got a different way of introducing people to the area.
So we just got to the Blue Mountains today, and the Blue Mountains are basically what I just learned is it's a plateau instead of mountains. So there's a massive drop off right here. And so I just met up with Mark, and we're getting oriented here in the Blue Mountains by rappelling off the edge.
So pretty spectacular way to get oriented here. All right, see you later.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Woohoo!
Like a big kid.
Oh man, amazing spot here in the Blue Mountains. Getting to do a little bit of abseiling, rappelling. Oh, hey. Yeah, just having a blast. This is so cool here. This rock is gorgeous. Loving the views. One thing you gotta watch out for is some sort of trees that are just waiting with open arms to catch you at the bottom. Keep having to fight them off. It's a cleaner abseil until you get into the trees.
You go like, there's at least a 1.5 foot.
Oh,
gap.
There's enough, but it kind of leans you to the right. So you're kind of like kicking the trees and stuff as you're coming down. Cool. Ready for me to go again?
That's all away.
Getting kind of dizzy now.
Our rope swinging fun is cut short as our show director Lucas believes that he may have just stumbled upon a brown snake, only the second most lethal snake in the world. Out of sight, but far from out of mind, we continue on, a little more wary of where we're placing our hands and feet.
There you go.
Yeah, I got you. I got you again.
You got me.
Stay out of that tree. I've actually wanted to come here for a really long time, ever since I saw a really cool National Geographic article on this place. So to be here is a little bit surreal. So absolutely loving it. It's just a fantastic landscape and getting a good adventure here. So yeah, having some fun.
Now thoroughly initiated to the Blue Mountains, Mark and I head to Pulpit Rock Lookout to get a bird's eye view of where our next adventure will take us. We're heading out on a multi-day backpacking trip that will take us deep through the canyons and thick forests of the national park.
We're going to be coming through the Grand Canyon on the other side here.
Yep, that's called the Grand Canyon over there.
Grand Canyon over there, it's beautiful sandstone slot canyon.
Yeah.
Millions of years old. Come through the temperate rainforest, down a series of waterfalls, down on the cliff face over there. Wow. We're going to snake along the river line here, down to the bottom here, which is called Junction Rock, where we'll hopefully be there for lunch, hopefully.
For making a good time.
Basically follow the river all the way along.
Yeah.
Across through the valley over there, down to near the Blue Gum Forest. We'll camp there for the night.
Is that a real place, the Blue Gum Forest?
Blue Gum Forest.
It sounds like a made-up name.
300 to 500 year old massive blue gum trees.
Really?
So we're going to go up the next morning, we'll go up the spur line there, on the other side. And then we're going to go up the cliff face, right to the top of that triangle on top of the cliff over there.
Yeah?
There's an old goat track that goes up the cliff
Going to that
face.
triangle on that mountain?
The triangle right up there.
Jeez. Okay.
And hopefully that'll be our lunch spot tomorrow.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's the only 360 degree view in the mountains. Sensational it is.
Wow. We're going to give it a go.
If I struggle, you can carry me.
I got you.
Right. Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right.
The Blue Mountains are an impressive and beautiful place from above. But I know it will be a completely different world once I'm down there. And I can't wait to see what lies hidden in the canyon below, under the canopy of the blue gum trees. I've been wanting to explore the Blue Mountains of New South Wales for over a decade. And although they were spectacular to see from above, it's a whole different world when you're in the canyon. It's incredibly lush here, full of water and life, and extremely different from the dry landscape at the top of the escarpment.
Oh, this is really cool. It's getting dark in here. So Mark and I just dropped into the Grand Canyon here, and pretty much right off the bat, it feels like a totally different world. Right now, we're kind of in a spot where there's a good bit of other tourists and hikers, but it won't take very long before we're completely on our own and in some really wild rugged and remote terrain. Looks so different down here at the bottom than from being at the top. You have no idea how much lush jungle rainforest is actually down here.
You expect to see dinosaurs walking through or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty ancient.
We just got to Junction Rock, which is, I guess, about a third of the way through the canyon here. And we're gonna have a little lunch, and it's a perfect place for a swim. So I think we're gonna jump in and cool off. Yeah, about 3.5 feet. Perfect.
G'day, I'm Eric Hanson.
You need to show you that it's safe?
Eric Hanson down under.
Backpacking has always been a great excuse for me to let my inner child run free. And clearly, Mark shares the same youthful spirit. Rejuvenated, we continue on our way towards camp as the trail becomes a lot more treacherous.
So we just got into camp here. We're in Acacia Flats, which is this awesome flat-bottomed spot here in the canyon. And we're surrounded by these beautiful blue gum trees. There's some really massive old ones here, and then we're gonna be going into the bigger old growth forest a little bit later on today. But getting to camp right here at the base of these blue gums is pretty amazing. So definitely excited about tonight. Finishing setup of the camp.
This place is special to me because I started running down here when I was a kid. You know, probably about 10, 11 years old, we'd run down the cliff faces and through some of the temperate rainforest pockets. You know, we grew up in that era when we were free to roam and enjoy the world. And with that came consequence, danger, respect. It's now good to be able to share that with other people who may not have necessarily had that growing up in city life.
Boom. Wow.
Oh, hold on. Bugger. I'm on the wrong track.
Oh no. We gotta go that way?
We're gonna go that way.
We're in the wrong side of the valley. Mark, I swear. Well, let's get there then.
Let's go do it.
Yeah.
I'm
Wrong way. It's super steep, rugged. Sometimes you look up, it's like, how can there be a path there? But it's going. It's hard work, but it's a lot of fun. And man, certainly incredible views.
Reaching the top, I've also reached the end of my New South Wales adventure. This has been my second trip to Australia, and between the stunning landscapes, crazy weather, and ultra-friendly people, it has once again surpassed all my expectations. I can't wait to come back and explore more of this wonderful place.